Very close to it. No, it's very noisy.
Do you think this will be clearer if the lights here were off? Like you
Yeah.
see the screen there. Yes, does that work?
Looks very good.
Okay.
And since it's too dark.
Maybe this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one works. Okay. So, my name is Mahama. I work for Sherry. Sherry is the director of the Springlight Institute, as some of you know already. And today we have the privilege of presenting to you a small discussion. This is going to be a lively discussion on how to master stress and be more effective with your work. So the reason we brought this topic up was because we realized that many of our brothers and sisters and kids are suffering from all kinds of overwhelm. In fact, I am interested in that because when I was in school, that was a problem that I faced. And even when I was working, I started to have the same problem. So this picture that you see, I call it a cry for help. Basically, some of us are drowning in the pressure that we have to do, be it doing homework, be it peer pressure, be it finishing our projects or college applications, right? And I started to do a study on this type of situation that is happening all over the US actually, and all over the world for teenagers. And then a data point I found surprised me, that between the middle of the year 2005 and then 2015, the level of stress amongst kids from 12 to 17 years old has increased by more than 50%. See, so there's an intergenerational shift. Before, adults had more stress, right? Now, kids have more stress than adults. So something is going on that if we don't fix now, would end up damaging the leaders for the future. So here's another data point that might surprise you, okay? The data point that might surprise you is that if a child gets a major depressive episode while they are young, they are 5 times more likely to commit suicide than somebody who gets that episode later in life. So if we don't find a way of fixing depression and other kinds of stress now, then we are putting our kids at greater risk later in life. So this talk has been organized by Springlight and Sherry for us to highlight some of the issues that are around stress and overwhelm and how to manage those ones properly. So Sherry will take over from now and begin to help us explore what is actually going on with our kids today. Yes.
I think that every child, also every parent has big pressures. Yeah. Parents, our parent at our work, we also had pressure, but at our families, especially for middle school and the high school kids at those times, very critical time. So our kids also big pressure. Our kids has the peer pressure, also the community pressure, pressure from school, actually from also sometimes from teachers, also from parents. And our parents have a very high expectation for children. So today, actually, I just this afternoon, a student told me, current parent has a parental anxiety because the parent worry too much. This, oh, if I made the wrong decision, maybe the decision maybe ruin my kids' the life. Okay. But the anxiety may be really to ruin your child's life, not the decision, but the parent has anxiety, the parent is depressed. And then when most parents always complain, say, oh, kids, the teenager has rebels, and my child is so lazy, no motivation. I think that everyone complained. I think at least 90% the child told me the parent complains them too much. 50% the kids from Springlight kids, the kids actually does not want to talk to them. They are not comfortable to share with the parent everything. 2 years ago when I did the seminar, I did a questionnaire, ask the parent, what you expect your child to be. I think all the answers, I don't read it, okay, all the answers are very, very positive, yeah. I think that's for a long time ago, that's, you want the kids 10 years later, or 20 years later, or 30 years later. But this is my personal experience, okay. That's a long time ago. This short term ago, yeah, short term expectation. We want our kids get straight A, no B. Almost every week I have a parent call me, says, okay, my kids get 90, this is A minus. Yeah, so maybe probably next week we'll get a B. My kid's life will be ruined. Okay, please help. Yeah, help get a good tutor, help him get a B, get an A. Yeah, our parent kids get straight A. No C. If the C is a parent early crush. I heard a parent told me, Sherry, 2 weeks I lost 10 pounds. Why? Because my kids get 82, almost C. I said, hope your child, your son, he's okay. Okay. The parent worry about the parent very happy expectation. And the kids also complain, I'm not sad if I finish what I can play game, but I finish that, my mom give me another job, another work to do. Yeah. For parent, everything is for kids, for them to get into a good college. Everything what their child do for college application, for the college's sticker. So this looks very different, right? I think the EPL kids have very high motivation. Probably, I think today you don't need to come. For me, the 2 years ago, actually we have a student give a seminar. Yeah, because that seminar is invited by World Journal. Yeah, World Journal have a education fair. They asked me to invite a keynote speaker, master student. Yeah, the student just had a depression, and she was getting out of the depression, and she gave a talk. I didn't expect. I thought, oh, maybe because she's still working very hard to get out of the depression. So she told me, I'm okay to share my personal experience, but I didn't want so many people to come. Even too many audience, maybe I get depressed again. I said, don't worry. The talk is at New Pitas in the early morning. No one will go to there to listen to a talk in the starting early morning, not at 10 o'clock. Okay. At 10 o'clock, 130 people showed up. Then I know, so many people current worried about the kids. Also, the kids has a problem, depression problem. And this mother, this maid, she wrote me a letter. Okay. Yeah, I don't read it. Maybe I can. This is Chinese. Yeah, you can. Yeah, go around. You can read the letter. Okay. For parent, she currently live with me in my family. Yeah. So I helped her a lot. For her, she said okay, let me see in Chinese. Yeah, said 如果他的爸爸妈妈是给他的就是养育之恩哈，然后说我跟我先生给他是就是再造之恩，就是让他重新做人，然后还有 the parent born him but we give him a new person. Yeah. For us, all child at the school they have stress, their life they have problem. We need to try to understand. We need to listen to them. Our parents will also, we are parents, we are adult. Yeah, we know everything. Yeah, you are so young, you need to listen to us. We need to listen, to be a listener. Okay. And the second, we need to get the professional help and to get professional resource. Yeah. For me, several years ago, I also saw I know everything. Yeah, I read so many books. I have so many years experience to help teenagers. Yeah. When I know someone is depressed, yeah, I also I thought in my mind, okay, why is the person so depressed, and why his mind, her mind is not strong? He should become strong. Yeah. But until I read a book, the professional book called Depression, yeah, and then I know I'm short. My husband very tall. Yeah, I'm born and I'm short. I cannot go. Even I hold the good food I eat, I cannot be high like him. And yeah, we can be sick, but also mental also be sick. The depression and anxiety, these are realities. So we need to face it. And as parent, we need to know it. And we also need to help our child to know the stress and anxiety and the depression is normal. It's the mental health, mental sick. We need to face it. Yeah. We need to know. We need to handle it. Okay. So parent, we help our child first. We need to get their trust. The trust mode. If you get with trust, you have opportunity to help them. Without the trust, impossible. They do not want to talk to you. No communication, no help. We need to know that if your child when they depressed, or they have pressure at school, they are very painful. Yeah. They need your support. They need your acceptance. Not need you to charge them again. Yeah. And our parent, we here today we not talk about parent pressure. Okay, parent has at work we have pressure. Maybe also we have pressure. Your parent. Yeah, so we have parents that said her and her husband, both of them they graduated from Beijing University. Okay, Beijing University is China's Harvard, right? And then the grandma told the mother said, okay, you and your brother all went to the Beijing University, okay? So your children, if you cannot go to Stanford, you fail, okay? So we also have pressure, but when you have the negative emotion, okay, if you cannot say positive word, you shut, okay? Don't say anything, okay? Only say positive things. So as parent or as adult, we also have responsibility to help our kids to know themselves. Our kids, they are teenagers, they are young. They are very sensitive. Sometimes they close themselves. Yeah. They try they play games. Why they play games? They do not want to face the problems. They are not strong, but they are kids. Even the parent will sometimes, are you so strong? You can face you can take any challenge? I don't think so, right? And they want to get recognition. That's why they play games. Even the small game get a higher level. Good job. The game told him, good job. You did a good job. They want we see them as a normal person. Why you do this? Yeah, we also complain them. So at that letter, the girl said that she really appreciated me. So when the parent talk to her, always say the parent know she has a mental health problem. The parent are very careful. But when I talk, she really appreciated me. When I talk to her, always treat her as a normal person. Actually, I also stressed. Yeah, first time when the mom asked me to have her live with me, I said no. I said I'm busy. I don't have time to take care of my children. How can I take care of her? Yeah, and I don't have time to take care of myself. Yeah, I don't have time to cook. How can I help her? But finally, yeah, she mentioned later on how she finally I found actually for me she didn't mention. I know that I found out that she is a very honest person. She never lied. Yeah. So I know she wants me to. If a lie is not honest, I won't help. I know she's a good person, just personality. She depressed a lot. Yeah. She tried 3 times suicide in China before she's an international student before she moved to the US. Yeah. Even here she cried many times. Yeah. When the depressed the emotion come out, she couldn't stop herself. She will cry 2 hours. Yeah.
Every day, 2 hours.
Not every day. Sometimes once a month, sometimes once a week. Yeah. The depressed the emotion come out. Yeah, she couldn't stop, and her logic thinking is totally different with a normal person.
So Sherry, I have a question right now.
Yeah.
So do you think such kind of kids need to see a psychologist or psychiatrist, take
Yes.
medicine, and you also
Yeah.
give them a mental
Yeah,
support?
they need a professional help. In the beginning, I mentioned they need a professional. But if a kids know they need they to visit
Doctor.
doctor, 50% they will get help. They will get better.
So
But the problem is they need to. I have several friends, very close friends. They are psychologists, very professional, very good person. When I talk to them, they said the patient they need to call them. They need to want to change. But the problem is, most of the case, we also have another student. He also tried suicide. Yeah, suicide. But the parent also told him to go to see a psychologist. And then what he told me that's his job. He just this job for him. He wants to make money. Yeah. I kind of feel he care me. But when he sees the Mahama, okay, the girl is a Chinese. Easy for me to use the Chinese. My Chinese super good. Okay, but for English communication to help him, for me it's impossible. But this case is the boy is ABC. Okay, and then the Mahama is more is professional. For me, I took some church classes and read some books and some personal experience. For Mahama, he he's certified. Yeah, the professional. So when Mahama talked to the student, yeah, and then he told me, but the kids he trusts me at least. He trusts me. So when I told him, I think you will talk to, because when I read his qualification, I shocked. How can he try suicide? Okay, and I said, okay, you need a professional help to talk to Mahama. When he talked to Mahama, he talked to me to the first sentence is, Sherry, he cares. He will help. Yeah, the kids talk to Mahama, I think 3 or 4 times. We can see he changed a lot. Yeah, we have several students. The one student also, that's just not depressed. Yeah, just anxiety. The parents, he worked too hard, almost burn out. So the parents, I know if he keeps like that, maybe he really burn out, everything. So the mom said, I said, the first suggestion I said, why don't you go to the psychologist? They said, my kids doesn't want to go to there. But if you go to our learning center, we are different. We have kids, we don't have a speaker for Asian. Like my older son is very good at everyone see who can be like Peter. My son is even someone here know me well, can know that my older son is a leadership very strong. But he's also like American. Sometimes he a little bit negative thinking he will see a psychologist. Yeah. But most teenagers know they are busy. Yeah, they do not want to see even for my son Peter also said you need to find a psychologist really can help you. Has a chemical. But for high school students, they do not have time to find a right person. For you, a right person, for that one, maybe not right person. Yeah. For us, we are not professional. Even Mahama also mentioned many times. Okay, if the student, the situation is which stage, the certain stage maybe he also refer to a psychiatrist or psychologist. Yeah. But for what we can do is we care. We have some the knowledge. We care. Yeah. And for parent, for the girl is very. If you read the letter, you can see that she really had a very serious problem. She quit school for 1.5 years and stayed home just play games, only play games, and also tried to kill herself. The parent also tried to get the psychologist help. But she didn't want. She met the psychologist once, and then she said that she didn't want to see any psychologist anymore.
Why? Why?
Why? Because that psychologist is a mom's friend. So in first meeting she trusts her, but and then the psychologist told the mom what they share, and the mom, they are too close. So the girl felt the mom knows. And then she just shut up. And then she didn't trust anyone until she met me. Yeah.
What is the reason to cause her has such kind of depression? Is because of his parents?
Yeah, I mentioned that. We didn't tell her story, but the same thing is school peer pressure, also the parent pressure. Yeah, everything is the same range. Just different story, but actually the same thing. Yeah. For us, even I heard that here we have many students get to very good top colleges, but I also know many kids when they have stress, they play game a lot. I can tell you, if your kids has a low IQ, they do not play games a lot. If your kids play games too much, it means their IQ is really, really high. Okay.
Like my son.
This means your kids are very high IQ. Okay. But how you can stop him? You not just you stop, not say stop, not that. We need to form the foundation. Yeah, you need to get professional help. Okay. Mahama likes Chinese. We just before the seminar we talked. He asked me what's the stress, how the Chinese, what's the Chinese, how the 压力, right? 压力, what's the price? Yeah, 力 is motivation, the force. Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, just how you know the balance it, right? Yeah, we love our child because we love them. We give them pressure, right? If we do not love it, your neighbor kids won't care, right? Yeah. But you love them, but if the signal and the way you love them is wrong, maybe it becomes maybe the pressure will raise them, will hurt them, right? How we give the right way to help our child? Would you like to talk this part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That was fun. I actually learned a lot just listening. As somebody who doesn't have kids, every time I listen to Sherry, I learn a lot. And I was a kid not too long ago myself. So, yeah, so there are certain things that in the scientific literature are known to be able to help young people in particular. And actually these things work also for adults to be able to deal more effectively with stress. Okay? So if you're a parent and you have kids, like Sherry was saying before, if the kid doesn't feel trusted by you, it doesn't matter what you tell them. You can have the best idea for the kid will not take it. So the concept of acceptance is to realize that whatever the kid does, they play too many video games, whatever it is, the first point is to accept them where they are, right? Because if they come to you and every time they come to you, say something negative or judgmental about it, what you're saying may be true, but if they don't trust you, they don't take it. So the first thing is to say, okay, this is what is real, my kid is X, Y, Z, and I accept it. Then what can we do after that? Okay? So this is a very common thing in science. So from acceptance comes things like motivation and how to prioritize things for the child. So if the child thinks that you're asking them to do something because it is for you, they wouldn't do it. And it used to happen to me as a kid. my dad would come and look at all my grades when I was in college, and I had like 6 A's one time and a C in physics. And he came to my boarding school and said, this. Why do you have C in physics? But I said, and I was insistent, I have 6 A's. I mean, my voice was rising, right? Because I'm thinking that he's only seeing the part that I'm not doing well, but how about all the good parts? But now that I'm a little bit older, if my dad had come and said, wow, you did so well, all these 6 A's, what happened with physics? Then from the point of view of acceptance, I can see that he cares about what I'm doing, and then I can move forward. So that's where the whole concept of acceptance comes in my view. What would you say?
Yeah, if your kids play games, play with them together. Yeah, to know the game. Yeah, if that, then they will know you accept them, and then your kids will share with you why they play game, share with you how good the game, and share with you how bad the game. Yeah, we have a student. Actually, the parent also give up everything, but the kids share with me why he plays games and what's the future play games, and then ask him, so do you think someone play game can make $1 million?
Yeah.
And then ask him, okay, tell me, can you reach the goal? Can you make $1 million by playing the games? I asked him, he has I don't think I can play $1 million game. And yeah, he shared me a lot with the how to make games because I accept him, right? I'm not his mom. We have I give the unconditional love, right? Actually, I have a conditional. But this kids share with me a lot. Share with me. I think the parent here. Okay, and then he told me, I think maybe I can make $500 a month. I said, you can do that 500. What you can do with $500? You understand? Okay, I think I need to do the ACT test. yeah. Just I think you need to accept them. Yeah, and then they trust you. Yeah, this is very important. But the unconditional love not means you can do things without a boundary. You still need to love your kids with boundary.
So, and the thing with appreciation, I think even as adults, we realize that when I work for you or I do something for you and you tell me a good word, next time I'll do it again, right? Because from the neuroscience point of view, there are only 2 things that motivate human beings. We run away from everything that's painful, and we run towards things that give us pleasure. So, pain and what? Pleasure, right? When you give someone appreciation, they associate good feelings with you, right? They're like, oh, I like your pink bag today. This is a beautiful bag. For you, it is an easy thing to say, but next time the person wants to talk to you again because you made them feel what? Good. So sometimes as parents, we forget that our kids also want to be appreciated, right? Maybe you really hate the drawing that your kid did, but it doesn't matter, right? The kid just wants you to acknowledge that he or she exists, and then they will do more things than you expect them to do. So things like Sherry has written here all come from being appreciated, right? You care for the person, which you all do. I think the challenge is not that you don't care for your kids, because you do. The challenge is how do you express it to them in the language that they understand? And that's what some of the science is beginning to show. And some of these things that you see here, you know that already. It's just about remembering to do them.
Yeah, when I talk to a parent, the parent come here to get help, they always say which area they want me to can help their child, and then they will point the 1, 2, 3, 4 their child what area need to improve. I also ask the parent a question: can you tell me 1, 2, 3, 4 what your child do very well? I can tell you the 90% of the parent cannot say. Yeah. The come out to their mind, the first the negative thing. Yeah. So you can come home today, do your homework, write 1 to at least 3 points. It's better 10 points. You want to say how great your child. Yeah, say the list that and then show your kids. Yeah. When my kids write wrote me a letter to me. Like this girl wrote a letter to me. I'm really, really happy. and I will want to more for her. And my kids, I have a two child wrote a letter to me, and you can go to springlighteducation.com and you can see we have the college advising page, and also has words for students and parent. And to me, the first part is for my daughter, and the last part is for my son. They list 1 to 3 many points. Yeah, how they appreciate me. So I also wrote for my older son and for my younger son. I should also read something for my daughter. Yeah, we need to read something. Yeah.
Yeah. So continuing on the theme of appreciation and affirmation, I think this is very similar in the sense that once you're more observant to what your kids are, listen, we don't want our kids to come home with C's and D's and B minuses. It's true, that is to be taken for granted. And one of the ways to get there is to look at all the small things they're doing well and recognize them, right? So your kid doesn't think that every time they come home, all you pick on is the things that they didn't do well. And affirming them is just saying, oh, you did really well on this thing, as compared to appreciating and seeing the good things, right? So in Africa, we have a proverb that says that if your partner cooks a meal for you that you don't enjoy, don't complain about how bad the food is. Look at the love and the effort that was put into making the food. That's one way you appreciate what someone is doing, instead of just the end result of what you see that they've done. Yes, sir, you know more about this than I do.
Okay.
As a mom, you
Yeah,
do.
yeah. We say I think especially we just say love. Okay. Because we love our child, we also give them many rules. Yeah. Give many opportunity to start this, to start that. Yeah. But if you know close relationship, any rules is powerless. Yeah. Useless. Yeah. So how show your love? Actually give the gifts to your child and say nice word, and you when your child study, give them food or water. Just maybe the small things can show your we do more, say less. Especially for the moms. Yeah, for middle-aged parent, we nag too much. Nagging the kids. They don't like us. Just show more the physical touch, like the. Sometimes I have a backache, so I have to ask my children, okay, give a massage. Because my daughter, when she just come back from college this Monday, yes, Mom, give me a massage. Yeah, physical touch actually show your love. Yeah, show your relationship. All time spend time with your kid. This is your show love. Yeah, I also tell my younger son. I told him that you just need to work hard. I will make Martin support you go to college. He said, Mom, I want to have dinner with you together. If you have dinner with me together, I will study more. I will work hard. Yeah, they need love and they work hard. And the love, actually I have two students. They wrote the college application essay. Wrote about how the family's love, the parent love becomes their motivation to study. Why they want to go to college? Why they want to study more? Because they see how the parent loves them. One kid wrote about every morning the dad he likes noodle. The dad will cook the noodle for him. He said every morning when he smells the aroma of the noodle, this whole day's motivation for him to go to school to study. At least the nose, show your love, not if you know your action more than your negative. If you talk, you don't know I love you so much. Why do you don't study? And then all your work becomes nothing. But your love is love to the motivation for your child, but love must have the boundary. Love is not what your kids want. You give them everything. They want to play game. They want a powerful computer. You say, my laptop just $500. You want a $3,000 laptop. Why you buy for them? You need to have a boundary. Okay, this availability, you need to spend time with them. Is also, I think not just the time. Okay, availability. We need to give our child the opportunity for them to grow. For the teenagers, they are not mature, so mature. Yeah, they need to face their difficulty. Not they play games or do something. They just want to escape. They want to avoid the problems. Yeah. Sometimes the parent do things that parent want to help child. The parent say, okay, like that. Actually, yesterday I just had a meeting. 2 days ago I had a meeting with the kids. Well, planning for the summer, and then we said, okay, then summer. I said you always this already juniors in this fall apply college in this summer you need to do research. The dad said, how can high school student do research? The mom said, don't worry, I will do for him. Yeah. Then the dad said, okay, so you just buy someone's work, count as his research. So mom said, we don't buy. That's so let him do by himself. Yeah. The kid said, oh yeah, I don't think I can do it. I told him, I know you can do it. You are smart enough. If you charge yourself, if you use it, parent just watch him to give him discipline. I know he can do it. But if he faces, everyone have their lesson. We need to give all kids the opportunity to fail. And all kids, they need to, their psychology, they cannot just rely on you. They are still kids, teenagers. They are not adult, not a baby. So we need to give them opportunity. We also need to go with them, work with them for their life. When they get 18 years old, they leave you, they go to college. Yeah, you need to know they mature enough. You don't worry. Okay, MIT, so many people take drugs. So if he get MIT, don't go to MIT because MIT is the high possibility, high percentage the student take drug and more and suicide. Okay, if in the high school you stay with your child, go with them, help them to get mature, you don't worry about that. If his roommate take drug, maybe he can help their roommate. Yeah, help them to be an adult. But you need to be with them together, not the physically. Physically with them, also emotionally with them, and until they can to be independent. This is the true love. I think that one slide.
Do we have slides on the website?
This no.
So we're doing a quick transition here. So Sherry has the practical experience of dealing with students, and she's a parent. So I come at it more from a scientific and psychological perspective. So the next part of the presentation will look at some of the science and the neuroscience of overcoming and mastering stress. That's what we're going to talk about next. Okay? Because what Sherry has done a great job of doing is letting us see how stress is impacting our lives and some of the things we can do to overcome stress and use it more powerfully. So in the next part of the presentation, we're going to talk about, okay, a lot of research has been done on these types of things. What are the best practices that we could all use for our own lives and also for our kids? So this portion will work for you if you try it on, and it will also work for your children as well and your co-workers. So let me pull this thing out really quick.
Yeah, I see here we have some teenagers. Yeah, if teenager you want to share something to us, yeah, anytime because whatever you see is correct. Because the truth is, yeah, we really welcome to parent or the teenager, especially teenager, to share what you think and what you know, and yourself or other people.
So let me ask a question even as I pull up my slides. How many of us in this room, and no one is watching so we can be honest, right, have faced stress in the last 1 year? Only 3 people. Yeah. Okay. And a second question. How many of us think that stress is a bad thing? Everybody thinks stress is a bad thing. Okay. So that's an interesting thing because I think more than half of us in here speak Chinese, right? I just learned today the Chinese word for stress. That's, yali.
Yali.
I was like, what does it mean? It looks like it's 2 different words, right? There is pressure and then there's power, right? So then that's actually what the science says. Science says that depending on how you see stress, it can be a positive thing or what? A negative thing. And that's already in the language. So I said, the old wisdom always amazes me. Because people have known this for thousands of years, that stress does a very good job of showing us. How do we get this?
Okay, you see the girl, I don't know where's the letter.
Okay.
Okay, you keep the read. Yeah, she already get that. Currently she studied at West Valley College, and last Friday, yesterday or Thursday was her last day, and she already accepted by UCLA. Yeah, all UC except Berkeley. Yeah. Yes. So for transfers, you know, the UC Irvine and Davis had a guarantee, but for UCLA and UC San Diego, you must go through the same cycle. So we are college, the freshman.
Okay, so from more of a scientific point of view, this is a research chart that was referred to by a lady called Kelly McGonigal, who is a health psychologist, and it speaks to the different levels of stress and how it affects your behavioral efficiency. So what levels of stress help you to be more effective and what levels of stress are damaging? What is curious is that when somebody has too little stress, they actually perform very. So if you are into science and math, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. So too little stress, too little efficiency, right? And that happens for kids who don't have any interest in work, kids who are just like they've given up. They have no stress, but they don't also do well, right? And on this other end is kids who have burnout. Like too much pressure, too much work, too much of life going on in their lives that they can't be effective. So you don't want to have too little stress or too much stress. You want to be in this middle. So there are 2 kinds of stress. There's distress and there's eustress. So EU in Greek means good. So good stress. And then distress is what? Bad stress. So there's a point at which when you are in this area, you are towards the peak of your behavioral efficiency or your productivity. So what we want to do is, how do you find yourself at the point where you're neither too stressed out or you don't care at all, and you're somewhere in the middle? So in some of the next few slides, we're going to begin to look at how do you get yourself out of the 2 extremes and be where you can begin to do the best that you want to do, right? Okay. So let's see what this is. So I want to start with the good news, right? So I imagine myself somewhere on the beach with the rainbow show and then I'm having a good time. I want to talk about the positive aspects of stress. So imagine that you have a vacation coming up tomorrow. You're really excited about this vacation because you're going to, I don't know where you guys go to for vacation, but when I think about vacation, I think about Peru and going to Machu Picchu. Places that have long, big hikes and such, right? You are going to be stressed. I don't know if you noticed that. Because you're going to be saying, did I forget this? Did I put this here? Did I finish my work? But that is not negative stress, right? It is the kind of thing that you're looking forward to. In fact, the original definition of stress comes from a guy called Hans Selye, and he said, stress is your body's reaction to any kind of change. So anything that is about to change in your life has stress associated with it. So stress is neither good nor bad. It's just a natural physiological response. Okay? The way you see it is what makes a difference. So the good news is that stress, whether you like it or not, is with us, and we know what to do about stress. Okay? And there's positive and negative stress. Obviously, you know that there's some other news that is not so good. So what is the bad news? Imagine also now that you're driving on the highway, maybe towards, what's this place that people, Santa Cruz, right? And there are all these tents, and on that particular day, it's very foggy. So you can't see what is coming across the curb, and you're going up the hill. Somebody's coming in. So it's all foggy like that. This is what happens to you when you let too much stress consume your life. Because you are running a risk of running into somebody, and that fogginess you see there is what is going on inside your mind, right? So on one hand, stress could help you, but if you allow the stress to get out of hand, you're in a situation where you could have a car crash literally in your life, right? That's why we want to be careful about how much stress we allow to get into our lives. Then there's what I call the ugly news. The ugly news is your life is really about to explode, like you see in this bomb here. So what does that mean? What am I trying to say here? If you keep ignoring the amounts of stress that are building up in your life, and you don't do anything about them, one day you're just going to be like, snap, and everything is going to explode. For your life and for the life of your kids as well. That's why at the beginning I said that if you start getting depressive episodes as a young person from 12 to 18, you have 5 times the likelihood of committing suicide later in your life. So it's not that depressive episodes are bad or good. They're obviously bad. But if you have them in your 30s, you probably would live a long life, right? But if a kid has them between 12 and 18, their lives could go in a very negative direction. So the point is, be aware that the kids that you have between 12 and 18, this is the most important part of their lives. If you don't help them deal with the stresses in their life in a positive way, you are making it more likely that later in life, something bad could happen to them. So some of the things that Sherry was talking about are really important. The things around appreciation and affirmation and availability. Because this is the time that the kid needs to be loved, so that later on in life they don't blow up. Okay? Okay, this is one of my favorite slides. This is what our friends and our kids are facing every day. They're worried about their friends, right? They're worried that they don't have enough money to buy things that they want to buy. That they have an 89 and they want to get an A, but the teacher is really mean and the class is hard, right? And they're also worried about their parents. Can you see that? The kids are also worried about their parents and other things that are worrying them. So my question to you here is, what can you practically do about stress on a day-to-day basis? Let's investigate to see what the best practices are from science and neuroscience on dealing with stress. Okay? There's this thing called emotional intelligence. I know that's a very big word. Like, how many of us know what emotional intelligence means? Yeah. So you know it, maybe you just don't know it's called emotional intelligence, right? But you obviously know what it is. So as compared to IQ, which is intelligence quotient, there's something called emotional quotient as well. So what that does is your ability to identify feelings and to use those feelings to make decisions in your life. That is what emotional intelligence is. The reason I like this picture is this lady is out in the cold and it's about to rain, but she's prepared. She's holding her umbrella because if it rains, she's ready to deal with the rain, and if it's cold, she's ready to deal with the cold. So the concept of emotional intelligence is that it's not that stress will not happen to your life. It's not that bad things will not happen to your life, but the question is, how prepared are you? Right? So in the next few sections of the discussion, we're going to talk about how do you increase your emotional intelligence, or what we call your stress resilience. Okay? What are the important things that we need to do? Sherry has talked about most of them before, so I'm just going to fly through these slides really quickly. One of them is, the more healthy you are, the better you will be resilient to stress. right? So if you are not eating well, if you're not sleeping well, if you're not physically active, then you're more likely to have stress be a negative effect on your life. Okay. I don't like vegetables, so you're not going to see too many vegetables here, but I like meat. This is just an example of some of the things that people who are able to deal with stress do. They eat healthy food, right? They exercise. I'm not saying you should diet. I'm not a nutritionist. So for you to increase your stress resilience, good health is really important. Okay? You know this already. Then this is one of my favorite slides, because these kids, I mean, they're just having a great time. The quality of the relationship that you have is probably the number one predictor of how well you can deal with stress in your life. In fact, there's a research that shows that they did a research of about 30,000 US adults. And this is what they found out. After 1 year, they came back and they checked to see how high the change in the ability of them to cope with stress was. And this what they found out was this. For those people who had good relationships in their lives, right? Those people who helped other people do things, they had a 0% chance of any increase in their risk of dying, for example, right? Those who did nothing for anybody else had a greater chance of being sick or dying. So, to become resilient to stress, serving other people is probably the most important thing that you could do for yourself. So when your kid has to go and do some service project somewhere, don't worry that they haven't done their homework. Of course, they should do their homework. As an instructor, I will say that. But it's not a waste of time if your kid is going to play with their friends or is going to do something that doesn't improve their grade. Because that type of service and outreach is very important for their emotional health. Then this is just a general sense of feeling happy. So if the kid goes hiking or playing soccer or something else, it's important that you realize all of this contributes to your health. So what am I saying here? What the research shows is that spend all your time doing work for school and college applications is not the best use of your time. You want to be happy with what it is that you are doing with your life as well. And these are things that you all know. I'm not telling you something you don't know. Then personal achievement. So the better you are doing with your work, the more resilient you will be to stress. So if your kid is not doing well in school, it's increasing their level of stress as well. I'm sure you know that. If you're not doing well at work, it increases your level of stress. So, but there's something I want to say here that's interesting. Some people are doing very well, but they still are not happy. Why is that? Does anybody know? Why would somebody be a straight A student, has good projects everywhere, but they're not very happy? What causes that?
You try to be perfect.
Aha! Excellent question. Excellent answer. Perfectionism is a problem, right? In fact, there are certain studies that show that kids at Stanford and MIT and Harvard, most of them don't even know how good or smart they are. They still feel unaccomplished. So it is not necessarily how well you are doing, it is how satisfied you are with how well you are doing. So sometimes it's all about how you see things, right? So let's be careful when we talk to our kids about, you're doing well enough. I know you didn't get to MIT, but you got into Stanford, right? So,
You will try to.
some kids think that I have to get to a specific place or I have failed. It's not like that. Okay, Stanford is really good at this thing called self-efficacy. Some of the most powerful research on self-efficacy was conducted at Stanford. So what does self-efficacy mean? There's this book that I will recommend to all of you. The title is Feel the Fear and Do It Anywhere. And what the woman says, her name is Susan Jeffers, is that if you know that whatever happens to you, you can handle it, then you will not have anxiety. So what does anxiety mean? Anxiety is fear of something that has not happened yet, right? But if I believe that I can handle whatever comes my way, then anxiety will be less and stress will be less. So the concept of self-efficacy is this. How much do I believe in my ability to overcome the uncertain things that always happen in life? So if I, Mahama, believe that no matter what happens to me when I leave this room, I can handle it, then my stress is going to be less, right? So for those of you who believe in God, that's a powerful word. There are people who if you believe in God, then you know that no matter what happens, God will take care of me, then you are more strong. Or if it's a kid, you're like, no matter what happens to me, even if I get a C in calculus AB, my parents would love me. Then they will be more relaxed. So the concept of self-efficacy is, do I think that whatever happens, I will be loved by my friends? Do I think that whatever happens, my parents will accept me? So that's in fact, it's the most important thing that a kid could have. Is no matter what happens, I can handle it, or I have people who can help me handle it. That's why we have this picture of, it takes a community to build kids who have high self-efficacy. So their friends have to love them, their parents have to love them, they need to believe that they can make a difference in their own lives. Okay? So, any question up to this point? Because I know I've been any question of the things that I've been talking about that, or any contribution, because you guys have knowledge that I don't have, right? So I want to open it up for a few questions. Any comment or question or point of interest that we could talk about? Parents in the room, students in the room. Yeah. What's your name?
People know me by Ishan.
Okay, Ishan. Thank you.
We've been talking a lot about how to deal with stress. What about people who have too little stress?
That is a perfect point. So, what does the too little stress cause them to do? Maybe procrastination, they don't get their work done, maybe?
Yes.
Right? Or they don't go after their goals. So, too little stress usually is concerned with not being motivated at all. Right?
Doesn't care.
Like the person. So, Isha, that's a great question. We'll talk about procrastination in a minute. One of the reasons people procrastinate is because they don't have any stress in it. Yeah.
How about sometimes the parent didn't give the kids much pressure, but themselves give them lots of pressure.
It happens.
So how do we deal with those situations?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what have you done with, the parent is loving and cares, but the kid is giving themselves too much pressure? How would you deal with that?
Yeah, we need to, there's their life. Like me, I have 3 children. Mine and like my older son, actually, I told him if he, I know many friends they graduate from Sunset State, they have very good life, happy life. I told him, you graduate from Sunset State, I'm happy. But he was at high school, he said he want to go to Stanford, he pushed him a lot. I said, for me, I just support him. But I also tell him, you don't need so stressful. So, but we need to know our child very well. So I remember what I did wrong thing is I worried him too much. Yeah, I said for the junior, he want to take the 4 APs. I said no, 4 AP too much, just 3 AP. Yeah, I didn't sign the paper, only 3 AP. And then so he took 3 AP, and with as a go to sophomore, he wanted to skip a pre-calculus and direct take the calculus. I said no, that's too stress. You just take the pre-calculus and then calculus. And then when he applied as a senior, he complained me a lot. Mom, actually I could do it. Not everyone can skip, can take the pressure, but I could do it. So for me, I just I love him. I said okay, sounds okay, but he has the ability to manage the stress. He could do it, but I didn't know him very well. But anyway, he didn't go to Stanford. He didn't still get into University of Chicago, and he's still very happy with the college. But he also knows I love him. But he also wrote a letter to him. Yeah, show him he loved me and know I love him. But he also told me actually I should push him more. And also my daughter also complained to me, so Mom, you didn't push me too much. So at high school I didn't know how to study, how to work hard. So that's when my daughter got to college. He said you should push me be more. I think for our parent, we really we need to spend time with our children, to know our children. Not push them too much. Also, our children, they can go further, but we didn't support them. We should support them. Yeah. For my younger son, I also thought, well, my younger son, he started to talk when he was after 3 years old and 4 months, and when after the kindergarten, he still couldn't read even the simple sentence, 3-word sentence. He couldn't read. So I also thought, for him, he just later he can, fix car. It's okay. Yeah, I have very low expectation. But for him, he had very, very high expectation. So when he applied college, he had many B's. If you just met you, someone can come to the seminar, I mentioned my younger son, many B's. But his colleges are all the top colleges. I told him, you have so many the top colleges. If no college accepts you, what will you do? He said, I will stay in the other college and then do transfer, save your money, okay? Yeah. But we need to give them opportunity. And then his reality is he didn't have any college accept him, no college. Yeah, so I have many parents, they talk to me, Sherry, you work so hard, have so many kids go to top college, but your son no college to go. Yeah, I said that's his life, his decision. I just support him. I also told him, okay, what's your next plan? He said, I will work hard, and then I will transfer. Still, I will transfer to private college, but also I will apply UC. When transfer, when he's applied the high school, applied college, he didn't apply any UC. Yeah, but I feel really the God really bless him. He got two witness and the two witness college accept him, and then he will wait a year. He will go to college, still University of Northeast fall. And for us, I push our students go to good college, but for all kids, I human support. I just support them. Yeah, you can know them, support them. But I also worried. Yeah, I said, Chicago is so hard. The GP very hard. If he could survive, maybe. And then my old son told me, Ma, don't worry. He can transfer, right? Why you worry? And then also said, you Chicago know him. We didn't lie anything. Know him. They accept him. He can survive. If he could survive, he just transfer to another college. So simple. Yeah. And we just do what we can do. Just support them. Okay, that's my answer.
Thank you. That's very insightful. Yeah, college is a big deal. I remember I had the same kind. So I'm just trying to show you here. So I'm certified as an emotional intelligence coach, and this is just a chart that we do. So the kid takes an assessment online, and then the results are displayed in a chart like this. Just in a minute, I'm going to explain to you what this chart does. So you know how we talked about good health, personal achievement, relationship quality, self-efficacy. They are what you see on this chart. This is the overall score of the kid. So there's an average which is somewhere in the middle. So I want you to see something here. If your kid in any of these parameters is not doing well, we say they're in the challenge area, right? But if they have too much of something, they're also in the challenge area. Because in life, what is important in many cases is balance. Okay? So if somebody spends all their time in the gym, they may be very fit, but other areas of their life may be down. So one thing that we can provide to you here at Springlight is to help your kid take this assessment and figure out what areas of their life that they can bring into balance and put into place some interventions to help them live a more emotionally balanced life. So this is a tool that we have available, and we can help analyze that. So Sherry has already told you a little bit about some of the kids that we work with here at Springlight and what we've done, so we're not going to get into that. What I just want to say, even as we come towards the end of it, is this summer we have put together a program, the Spring Light Excellence Forum. And what we are looking to do is to help, and Yishan, you would like this, because one of the reasons people have low motivation is they don't know what their passion in life is. So if you knew, Yishan, that your biggest goal in life is to get to Mars, right? And you need to spend hours and hours doing math and doing other things to get to Mars, will you do it? And that's your biggest dream. Or would you not have any motivation? Yeah, I'm just curious. Yes or no? Like, you know that you want to get somewhere and you know exactly what you need to get there. Would you have high motivation or low motivation?
Probably on the higher side.
And that makes sense, right? So one of the key reasons people are not motivated is they haven't found exactly what their passion is. And there's ways to do that. So this summer in June and July, we want to help your kids go through exercises and programs to discover what it is that is the most important thing to their lives, okay? And then there's concepts of success mindset. So it turns out, and let me give you a quick story. There was a guy called Viktor Serebiakov. He's Russian. And for 17 years, he was homeless. He didn't have anything to do with his life, right? And then one day he took an IQ test. And they found out his IQ was 161. And that changed his life. So this same person, nothing had changed about him. But just because he came to find out he was very smart, everything changed. So now he started to believe in himself. And for many years, he was the president of Mensa. So just knowing something and understanding who you are can change your life. So I believe personally as a coach that if somebody is able to identify what gifts that they have, the change in the mindset can make the difference between a person's success and failure. So these are some of the things that we plan to do. We talked about emotional intelligence before. And some of our kids just don't know how to talk to anybody. That they're very smart, but if they come to you, they're like, they don't have a natural stammer, but they start to stammer. We want to teach them how to communicate and talk to anyone with confidence, right? We also want to teach them time management skills. If you have so many things to do, how do you make sure you're doing just the most important thing? Obviously, you know about this thing about stress and overwhelm. And also, how do you move from being in the procrastination mode to being motivated? So those are some of the things that we want to do this summer. We will start in June. We have 2 sessions, one in June and then one in July. So if that's something that you would want for your kids, they're definitely very welcome. You can contact Sherry and then we'll give them more details about that. Any questions on this? Yes, please.
So I feel like it's harder and harder for the kids to find the motivation, to feel how good they are.
Yeah.
Because maybe especially in this area, the kids start things so early. So, if you talk about any kind of sports, the age of that 8th grade. If you want to start anything at 8th grade, too late.
Yeah.
No matter how talented you are.
I get that.
Same for the for math, for instrument. So, how do you deal with that? The kids may have the talent,
Yeah.
but he or she, right? Only start to show that. It's hard for the late boomers. That's what I try to say. If I got a late boomer, how do you deal with that?
I get that. So, I have a book that I want to recommend to you. The title of the book is Late Bloomers, and it was released in April this year, okay? And he is a former editor of Forbes magazine. He talked about how they are wonder kids, right? They have a 36 ACT score, they have a perfect SAT score, and they did a study in his book where they looked at these wonder kids who started companies at 17 and 18 and compared them 20 years later with other people who were not wonder kids. You'd be surprised to know that it doesn't make a difference if you were really good at the beginning or good later in your life. It doesn't. So at the beginning, everybody's talking about the wonder kids. But in the end, it doesn't make a difference. In fact, the wonder kids, it turns out, they burn out really quickly, right? And a lot of them die early as well. Because they handle success too soon and they don't have the emotional capacity to deal with it. So if your kid is a late bloomer, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
So maybe you can find a late bloomer here give a talk.
Yeah. But you know for the talent you mentioned you mean the sports or music or math or something, we may know 5 or 10 talent. Oh, this case talent as a piano get into Stanford. This kid talent is math get into MIT. My case does not have anything related with the 10 talents. But your case maybe have the others, like my younger son. I said, okay, reading, he learned so, he's so slow. But actually, he also, when I sent him to play basketball. He cried when he was at elementary school. He cried in front of the door. He didn't walk in to the gym. And then I also sent him, asked him to play piano. The teacher get him, he didn't sit there. Play violin, yeah, he didn't do anything. But you know, why I mentioned that he had many B's, I didn't expect he can get his, even wait to get him to college. But he read a lot. He reads, I think normally a high school student does not read a lot. He reads a lot. Not just normally the people read. He likes to explore the use of the books. And his essay, the college essay, you know, what he wrote? He talked about the Cold War. What Cold War? College application Cold War. Because here all parents are talking about the college application, aging, and other, you know, the different services, the college application. He said this is a Cold War. He wrote about that.
Is he a good writer? You think?
He is he
He's a good thinker.
good thinker, philosopher. Yeah, he's a good thinker because he read a lot. Yeah, that's also a talent. Many students they know math, good at the competition, but no thought. Yeah, no ideas. They do not read news, do not read books. Only read the book. The literature class, the teacher assigns them to read. But my son read a lot. This is also his talent. Yeah, this talent maybe not all parents we recognize, but the college recognize. Like my older son, I give him ask him, he played tennis, he played the football, he played the basketball, he played a lot. But then I know no sports talent. He played the violin, played the piano, and then he also gets the many level tests. Yeah. And then I know he worked hard, but not talent. Yeah, but my older son has a very good people skill. This is a talent. This is also lifetime talent. Yeah. I think the talent maybe is we can. Yeah, when my older son applied college, he also had many B's. Yeah, perfectly maybe cannot get into Chicago, but my three kids, everyone had many B's. Okay. But everyone has their talent. The talent are not normally we know, but everyone they have a good people skill. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Any other? Thank you for sharing. Any other questions, please? Yes.
Can you say the name of that book again?
Late Bloomers.
Late Bloomers.
Yes, just like what you said, the title of the book is Late Bloomers. And it's a fascinating read of people who started companies when they were 60 and 70. Somebody in the book even started a company when he was 93. Okay? So there's hope for all of us, right? You don't have to be a wonder kid to make a difference in life, right? Okay, so this is my story about also being a late bloomer or having different talents. So when I was at Georgia Tech, I was not very good in a subject called biological modeling, and I found out something. My Korean friends were really good at biological modeling, right? But I'm also I like to talk a lot. So I made friends with all the Korean kids, and like 2 days to the exam, I was hanging out with them the whole time. and doing practice with. So I was one of the few people who got an A in that subject. Very difficult subject to get an A at Georgia Tech. But my people skills is what helped me, not my knowledge of the thing. So if you don't know the thing, know the people who know it. So there's so many. There's also a book called The 7 Intelligences, right? You don't necessarily have to just know book. There are other skills that you could have that would make your life different. So I've never been the best student in any class I've been, from kindergarten all the way. So from kindergarten, I went to one of the best schools in my country in Ghana, right? And I was not among the best students. And from that, I went to one of the best programs in college. And then I went to Georgia Tech, and then I went to Columbia, but I was not the best. What was different for me was that I was able in every situation to be genuine and to like people. So my biggest skill is liking people. I work hard and there are people who are much better than me, but I go anywhere that they can go to. So what I would say is you have to admire your kid and whatever talent they have, because you don't know where the talent is going to take them to. Okay? Do you have any other?
Yeah, I give an example. Yesterday, who came here? Yesterday's seminar.
Was anybody here from yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday I did show a slide here. The every year the GP get is a very the big college, the big Ivy. Okay, so that student, you know what she should do college is how she connect with people. Her essay present is the how she grew. When ninth grader, she tried to do big things, but and then we said she wrote books. She liked drawing, but we said okay, no creativity. And then she gave up because high school we always want so big talent get to top college. So at the second semester of the freshman, the parent signed the package, the qualification package with me. When I read her book, I said, "You ninth grader wrote a book, so wonderful, right? So talented." I said, "But I think that you need to start with the beginning. So do community service first. Know the community, know people, talk with people, not." Close yourself in the room, sit down, just read a big novel. No value, no creativity. Yeah, that's how her essay started. And then she said how she grew, she did some community service, and where to the community service she connected with people. And at the end of the essay, she wrote when she is working on the street, and she's a leftover of the pizza box of pizza, and then she shares the pizza to a person, a musician on the street. Mentioning the street, yes, San Francisco street. Yeah, share with people, and then the person, yeah, how the eye contact with her, she appreciates. She said okay. Oh, she said I can easily connect with people. It's a personal connection. Yeah. This I think even for adults, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, we are not so easy can know the people connection so important. Connect with different people. Yeah.
Industry is very important.
Everywhere, very important. Yeah. Yeah. Relationship, connection, right? Yeah. So this essay really made her stand out. She didn't have any super duper award. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. It's been a privilege to talk to you today. If there's anything that you want, I'm sure you have Sherry's email. Please contact her. If you want to talk to me about anything, you can contact her.
Yeah, for this, we will have this training program, informal training program. Yeah, this fee-based program. All will be the weekend class, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I will. I think if you register this today's seminar, I will have all of your emails. I will send you the email to you. This will be the 1 day. I think 1 day or 2 days.
So it's Saturday and Sunday for
Saturday.
2 hours each afternoon.
Yeah, and for the Mahama mentioned as an assessment. This is a very, very expensive assessment, but in the how many students, the first enrollment student, maybe give them the free.
Yeah, we're going to give the first few students who are with us a complimentary registration inside the program for the assessment to give them a profile of where they are in their emotional intelligence, and then help them work through the areas that they need to improve on. Yeah.
So for some of us, in several minutes later, and Mahama introduces our political.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Actually, I don't think I did that. My name is Mahama. I've been working with Sherry for the last 2 years. So I'm a professional coach, and I'm certified in emotional intelligence assessments and also neuro-linguistic programming. My background is in chemical engineering. I worked as a chemical engineer for more than 10 years. And then I got certified as a coach. So now I work with teenagers to help them overcome the obstacles in their life and become who God created them to be. That's my passion.
Yeah, current as in the past 2 years, yeah, Mahama has also individual one-on-one have some student, they need more motivation to do their work or for their life. Yeah, they need a personal coach. Also
So is this a summer program for a high schooler or for any age requirements?
So we can take anybody from 9 to 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. The content is applicable.
Do you have to write down the book you're talking about on the
Yes. Yeah, I actually have it on my Audible.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm just going to write some resources.
So the method is basically you talk to the people or you just doing some activity.
Oh, so it's a comprehensive program of activities and homework for them to go and do. So I have a whole workbook that I've put together that they will go through on each of these topics, right? And there's a component where they actually practice these things within the program. So it's not a theoretical program at all. It's very activity-based. Yeah.
maybe it also has some field trip, right? I remember.
Yes, and one of the things that I'm going to do is actually, I used to run a startup as well, and I want those who are interested in entrepreneurship to have mentors from the startup ecosystem in the Bay Area. I have a lot of people who are into the startups who can mentor them to, if they have a passion for business, be able to develop their business ideas as well. So we have a mentoring component of that as well. Let me go.
How many weekends is this program?
So there are 4 weekends in June, that's the first part, and also 4 weekends in July, the second part. Yeah. We'll do it in the fall as well, but this one we're just talking about the summer program. Yeah. So this is the book I'm talking about, Late Bloomers. The other one is Mindset by Carol Dweck, which is a really good book. Then if you're into business, there's a book called The Diamond Cutter. It's a really good business book. The Diamond Cutter. So just some books that I like. Then if you're interested in how to change things in your life, there's a book called Immunity to Change. It's a very, very powerful book. If you're interested in how to deal with stress and overwhelm, there's a book called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Emotional Intelligence. So this is Daniel Goleman. And if your kid has challenges with discipline, there's a book that I recommend that is very important for discipline. It's called The Slight Edge. So The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson is the name of the book. So these are some of the books that I go to, but there are many more books. If you want a book on any topic, I probably know about it. Let me see the author of Late Bloomers again. Okay. Yeah, this guy's called Rich Calvin. Okay. Yep. Here's your mic. Okay.
How do you think of Feeling Good by David Burns?
I have it, yes. I have 2 of his books. It's a very good book. So if you're looking for a cognitive behavioral therapy approach to solving problems, that's it's one of the best books actually.
Would that help the kids in this?
Yes.
Era?
Yes.
You think we should have kids reading or parents reading it and teach them?
I think you should have both of you read it.
Yeah. So right now, I read it. I spend no time now teaching me. He does not listen sometimes. Yeah.
Build a relationship, build a trust first.
Yes, you have to build trust first. Like, if the kid comes to you and feels like every time they are comfortable, they will trust you. That's it. Yeah. You guys do a great job as parents. I've never been a parent, so I don't really know it. But I see that it's really important for the kids, right? Isha, where do you go to school?
Why do I go to school?
Where?
Where? Place known as Kennedy.
Okay, is that in the area here?
You see, as our homepage is a picture of
I
us in
suppose
person.
so.
Yeah, I'm asking because I'm curious if they have SEL in your schools. Do they have social emotional learning?
Let's see, they have leaders. Not that I know of.
Yeah. One of my dreams is that schools will have more of these things for students, right? So that in addition to math and chemistry and physics.
I'm sure they've mentioned it a few times in the classroom before.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. If you have any questions, Sherry and I are still around.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
My daughter is 8 and she